Hello! Welcome everybody to the AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show. I'm Skip Elsheimer and this is...
Nate Duncan,
my nephew. Some of you might remember him if you've been following, not last year, but the year before last. He was my summer intern, and thanks to us being both fully vaccinated, he's back for a couple of weeks, and he's been scanning some films this week and next week, and you're in college now, right?
Yup.
Yeah.
I'm going into my junior year.
Oh my god, it's crazy. So he wasn't. So the last time he was here, you weren't in college yet. You were on the verge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's nuts. Anyways, so I asked Nate of the films that he's been scanning. He's been doing a lot of the Coronet films. Because of that deal we have with the people that own Coronet. And I asked him to pick some films that he saw where he didn't really hear the audio and he thought might be interesting to show. So the first film is Autumn. So why this film?
Honestly, the reason I chose this film is just because it looks very nice.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear any of the audio, so I'm just basing it off of what I saw. And this one had really nice colors.
Yeah. It looks like the colors are a little tweaked here on this. So I'm going to have to adjust them. And so what's interesting about this is even though it was in a Coronet can, it was actually made by Centron, which is one of our favorite educational film companies, which was based in Kansas. And I was talking to somebody who's doing a documentary about Centron films, so I'm pretty excited about that. So here's Autumn, and we'll come back and we'll talk more. Enjoy.
Use the bathroom real quick.
When it's fall. My older sister said the leaves are changing color because it's getting colder. We went on a field trip to a farm last fall, and it had a real neat red barn just like that one. Yeah, and it had pumpkins too. That looks like my uncle's farm. He's got 50 acres. Well, what's an acre? It's like our backyard, but bigger. Oh. Look, the trees in the city. They're changing colors. There's some deer looking for food. That squirrel's eating an acorn. Oh, he's cute. He's cute. Yes.
We see a whole bunch of bullfrogs. We always try to catch them. My uncle lives on a farm.
He has a bunch of trees on his farm. I know what he's doing. Harvesting corn. Look at that combine. It's harvesting food for us.
He has a cow. He has a farm pond.
There's a cow. Uh-oh, look at all those clouds. It looks like the weather's changing.
Looks like a windy day. Looks like a very cold and windy day.
It's gonna rain when it does that. Pumpkins! Pumpkins! Halloween time. Pumpkins come in all different shapes and sizes.
Oh, like an orange. Oh, there's a green one.
Look at those pumpkins.
Yeah.
Keep on jumping over them.
I guess they're gonna run and get some.
Look like huge oranges.
Yeah, really.
with lines on them, but you can't peel them.
You could, but it'd be messy.
Yeah. Oh, he's trying to eat that one down.
That looks like a good one.
Ooh, they painted a jack-o'-lantern. Must be getting ready for Halloween.
Wow, they're good.
Yeah, really.
I like to draw cats because I like cats.
I like to draw ghosts at a haunted house. Ew, mustache. They're getting ready for their Halloween party.
She have neat suits.
What is he supposed to be?
I don't know.
That's a horse.
I hope I do. I don't know.
Look at that.
It's the biggest pumpkin I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I like to draw scary faces.
My dad helps. Half of the time he helps, and half of the time I do it by myself.
Someone just cut out its nose.
He pushed out its nose. Just think I could take that whole pumpkin and make that 6 pumpkin pies out of it.
We even put a light in it. She can hardly pick that one up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's trick-or-treat time.
Going out for Halloween. You go home and you get into stuff, and then about 3 bags ready. You can go all over the town and you can say trick or treat.
I get lots of candy. Last year I was Dracula.
And I was a scarecrow.
I like Halloween parties.
Once when I went to one, it was down in the basement, and it was spooky because they had all these spiders hanging down, fake spiders in there. That reminds me of going to the carnival and getting dizzy.
I'm hungry. I want some cotton candy. A parade, neat!
That reminds me of the parade when all the high schools come down. We got to be in one of the olden days where you got to wear the half of the parade dresses and stuff. Kids riding bikes, just like we got bikes. Me and my friend Matt, we ride bikes every single day.
He goes back for a long pass. It's a bomb.
Watch this, man.
Boom. Hey! Run! Run!
Good stuff. Yay, yay. How are you doing?
Uh-oh, looks like a touchdown. There he goes. Touchdown. We win, yay!
Ooh, look at that big trophy.
Wow. We're number 1.
I'd hate to do that, but I would get paid 50 cents.
Oh.
We rake them in a big pile and jump in it. And then we have to rake them all up again.
I like to run through the leaves and hear them go crunch.
Turkey. Turkeys. I think it's Thanksgiving. Ooh. Oh, I want to go to Grandma's for Thanksgiving.
Looks good.
Yeah. I call it Turkey Day. I go, Mom, how many days till Turkey Day?
We always go to Grandma's house for Thanksgiving. You know what I like about Thanksgiving? Everything. I like turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, potatoes and gravy. And we can eat all we want.
Oh, that looks good. Give me a piece, give me a piece. We're gonna wait till all of our relatives get done. Then about noon, we eat, and then everybody gets finished. You get your dessert, and then you sit down and talk. What do the trees do in the winter? They hibernate just like some animals do. Look at all those bare trees. There's only a few leaves on them. The wind is blowing them off the branches. There it goes. Sure has a long way to go. Yeah. It's gonna be a crash landing. Dead. Look at those trees. All the leaves are gone. It's coming to be winter. Time to get out the sweaters and jackets so we can play outside. Oh, is that cotton? It's milkweed pods. Looks like cotton. I bet it's a cold and windy day outside. It's going to snow any day now.
Ride 'em, cowboy. Look at all those cattle. You better round them up fast, 'cause winter's coming.
Oh, those are cute. Ooh, a woodpecker. Neat. Look at all those birds on that wire. I bet it's time for the birds to fly south.
How do they know when they're supposed to leave?
Probably after all the leaves have fallen, 'cause then they can't hide in the trees anymore. There they go, flying south to warmer weather. Yeah, more food. I think we better get ready for the winter too.
The rocks and drills, the woods and inspired immortal verses and legends that will live. Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado reaches lofty heights, and no group excels the company of snow-capped veterans of all the ages which stand at everlasting parade. Bear Lake, with massive Long's Peak in the background, is the starting point for the trail that leads to the crest of the mountains. Though even Western horse can only climb so far, the riders must dismount to reach the summit. Over the towering Cascade Falls flow the waters constantly fed by the melting snows of Taylor Peak to seek the lush meadows in this scenic wonderland. Largest and oldest of Lower Yellowstone Falls, nearly twice as high as Niagara. Then there is the Upper Yellowstone Falls, plunging over rugged boulders 132 feet in height. Practically the entire region is volcanic in origin, with vastly interesting evidence that gigantic forces here held sway. Yellowstone's geysers and boiling springs are celebrated the world over. Altogether, there are about 3,000 with a great variety of interest. Old Faithful, best known of all these phenomena, spouts at regular intervals. The greatest geyser quietly begins its eruption and soon gathers the immense power to send aloft a towering column of boiling water. In southern Oregon, on the crest of the Cascade Range, Crater Lake has a high place among the nation's most scenic wonderlands. It lies in the heart of a mighty mountain whose volcanic destruction reduced its altitude from about 15,000 to 8,000 feet, resulting in the formation of a vast crater in which the waters accumulated. Geologists declare that toward the end of the giant explosion, minor eruptions produced Wizard Island. The great Pacific Northwest provides a wonderland of sharp contrasts, beginning with the rugged shores washed by the swells of the Pacific Ocean. Thousands of seals are to be seen all along the coast of Oregon. The Indian word Oregon means River of the West, for here is the famous Columbia River. During the salmon spawning season, schools of fish journey up the river, leaping barriers and even attempting to jump impossible heights. Some fishermen wade right in after them and get a fat morsel with the greatest of ease. Farther up the great river lies a scenic wonderland reached by the Columbia River Highway. Here, easily accessible today, is a region of natural beauty almost impossible to visit 50 years ago. For almost the entire 1,400 miles of its length, the Columbia River is one of the nation's greatest scenic attractions. Bryce Canyon, a great horseshoe-shaped bowl in southern Utah, is renowned for weird rock formations like nightmares of nature. It is as if some giant hand deliberately fashioned archways, fantastic designs, monuments for forgotten gods, and then turned many of them upside down or smashed them. But though some figures in stone rise erect like images, they resemble almost anything: men, animals, church-like spires. Here is unfolded the dramatic story of 1,000,000 years. Arizona's Grand Canyon of the Colorado is another and even greater story of erosion. 12 miles wide and a mile deep, here millions of years of the Earth's history is laid bare. Only this type of boat can negotiate some of the treacherous rapids. One of the world's greatest natural wonders, Grand Canyon must be seen from the plateau to grasp its profound depth, its vast width, the perspective of giant steps in its rocky walls diminishing into the hazy distance. A truly amazing wonderland. California offers many vistas of magnificent beauty, but none more lovely than the Yosemite Valley. From Sentinel Bridge, the inspiring area seems dominated by Half-Dome Peak. The whole grand sweep of the valley is seen from the Wawona Road Tunnel, with El Capitan on the left. From this same road can be seen in the distance Cathedral Rocks and the famed Bridal Veil Falls. The valley is surrounded by cliffs and pinnacles towering 3,000 to 5,000 feet above, with Sentinel Rock guarding the far end. The Merced River's clear waters mirror the scene. The thundering waters of Yosemite Falls plunge over 2,000 feet from the canyon brim with a roar heard throughout the valley. Close to Yosemite are the giant sequoias, oldest of living things, and once seen, never forgotten. Pictures of this tree have been used in almost every American geography book. It is 27 feet in diameter at least, over 200 feet high. These great trees once grew in many parts of the world, but only in one isolated Californian grove can be found these sole survivors of another age. Off to the west, the broad Pacific washes the shores of another scenic wonderland, the Monterey Peninsula, popular year-round playground of Californians. Midway Point is a famous landmark on the coastal highway connecting San Francisco with the south. The gnarled and weird formations of windswept cypress trees give this spot its name, Ghost Tree Point, the most frequently photographed area of California. It is an area of magnificent views of the Pacific from the high rocky cliffs above. Off Cypress Point, a barren rocky island is another favorite haven of thousands of seals. Bird Rock is also popular with the seals, but this doesn't discourage thousands of cormorants and pelicans from flocking here to mate and nest and rear their young, undisturbed by man or mammal from the sea. Monterey Peninsula, one of the outstanding scenic spots of America. Mount Rainier, once a 16,000-foot volcano, still towers 11,000 feet, not above sea level, but from its ice-carved base. The slopes have more glaciers than any other American peak. At the top, there is a vast 3-mile crater. Ski enthusiasts enjoy a glacial mantle, totaling more than 40 square miles. The springtime brings a glowing contrast to the ice-covered mountain when millions of daffodils, known in this area as avalanche lilies, cover one of the valleys with a spectacular throughout without seeing all that is unique, and far to the east there still remains the majestic Niagara Falls throughout the world as the most.
So that just kind of is like a hodgepodge. I mean, it didn't have the beginning and certainly didn't have the end. And the end is all splicey, so somebody must have been running it and then it just all fell apart. So as a reminder, this is Nate, my nephew, who's interning with us. He transferred this next film, and visually I was like, ooh, that's awesome. So this is Aesop's Fable, Ant and the Grasshopper. Do you know this fable?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
You don't know it's about the ants are all working diligently because winter is coming, and then the grasshopper's like, oh, I'm just going to take it easy and not work, and then suddenly winter comes and he doesn't have any food, and he's begging the ants. You don't know that story?
No.
Wow.
But I'm about to find out.
So you're considered Generation Z, is that right?
Yeah.
So Generation Z might not know the Aesop's Fables. That's what's wrong. All right, so here is Ant and the Grasshopper. Enjoy.
Summer day, and 2 bees are buzzing about gathering nectar from the flowers. They're not eating it right away. They're storing it in the hive for the coming winter. They think they're the 2 busiest workers in the world. But wait, what's that song? What strange music is this? Family of ants pulling something. A chocolate bar. Ants work hard too. Well, most ants. It's a very heavy chocolate bar. What a feast it'll be for the ant family. Oops. It's a very big chocolate bar, too. How are they going to get it into their house? Perhaps they can break it into pieces. Better try another way. Pull, pull, all together. Ah, success. Who's that? Mr. Grasshopper. The noise woke him up. The children didn't mean to wake him, but they have to store the candy so they'll have food for the coming winter. Bah! What does he care for winter? This is summer. It's too hot to work. This is the time for singing, for dancing, for smelling the sweet scent of flowers. And yes, time for resting under the warm summer sun. But there's no rest for the ants. There's much work yet to be done, and everyone does his share. Down into the cellar. That's where the food will be stored. They need enough to last them through the winter. Ah, that's the last piece of chocolate. But Papa Ant says they need more. As much food as they can get during. Off they go, the whole family. No, not you two. You stay with Mama. There'll be plenty of work for the baby ants when they get older. Babies need their rest so they can grow big and strong. But, oh, Mr. Grasshopper, he's just lazy. That sun is so bright I can hardly sleep. In a nearby garden, the girl ants are finding some tasty ant food. They've got a cart just loaded with goodies. The boys are stronger. They can carry their food. Oh, well. Well, let's see how Papa Ant is doing. What's that? Ooh. He'd better get help. It's Papa calling. Papa needs us. Let's go. Hey, ants, wait. Where are you going in such a hurry? We got a message from Papa. He's found some cake. Cake? Oh, so what? Why go chasing after food all the time when there's plenty of food all around you? That's true. It's too hot to carry such heavy things. Let's have fun like Mr. Grasshopper. Don't be foolish. Let's get started. Papa's waiting for us. And so the ants get busy helping Papa move the cake. So all summer long, the ants work. And all summer long, Mr. Grasshopper dances and plays with his friends. The ants are still gathering food, even when the summer is ending and the leaves are beginning to fall. The grasshopper and his friend can see that winter is coming, But he won't help the ants. The ants have to carry all the food themselves. The babies have found some that taste good. Stop that, you two. That's for later. There. That's the last of their food supply for the coming winter. And just in time, too. It won't be long now before the first snow. Better warm up the house. It's going to get very cold out there. Look. Whose footprints are these? It's Mr. Grasshopper. He's digging in the snow for bits of food. Now he's not dancing. The butterfly and all of his other summer friends are gone. He wanders all day. Night comes. What can he do? Oh, there's the ant's house. And see what they're doing. Yes, now it's their turn to dance and sing. Mr. Grasshopper is sadly remembering what happened. While the ants were working hard all summer gathering food, he was playing. So he learned a lesson. We can't play all the time. We must work and save so we can have the things we want when we need them.
You're out of the service, just got home, and you're glad it's over. But maybe it's not really over because you brought a drug problem home with you, and you're finding out that the street is a pretty tough place to solve it. If you're a veteran with a drug problem, there's a place you can go, a place where you won't get hassled or arrested.
May I have the number of the VA Drug Treatment Center, please?
It's up to you. Immediate help is available at your VA Drug Treatment Center. All you have to do is call.
Would you like the joy of knowing you've given someone a necessity of life? This is Jane Powell reminding you that there are still those who really are in need, some in your very own town. The Volunteers of America knows who they are and where they are. They'll clean and repair old clothes, old furniture, appliances, all the things you don't want, but are so vital to those less fortunate. When you call the Volunteers of America, they'll come and pick up your donations at your convenience. Call them now, please. This is Jane Powell asking you to help the Volunteers of America in their annual salvage drive. Collect your old clothes, furniture, and appliances, then call the Volunteers of America. They'll clean them, repair them, and then see that they reach the less fortunate in your community. Please help us. Call the Volunteers of America today. I think you'll be surprised how much old clothing or furniture you have. This is Jane Powell urging you to let the Volunteers of America collect these unused items, clean and repair them, then make them available to the needy in your community. Please call the Volunteers of America today for a pickup at your convenience. This is Jane Powell urging you to call the Volunteers of America today to donate your unused clothing and appliances for the needy. Call the Volunteers of America now. The Volunteers of America is holding its annual salvage drive. I'm Jane Powell asking you to donate your old clothing and furniture for the needy. Call for a pickup now.
Keeping our water clean is the responsibility of every boat owner. It's up to you to make sure our waterways aren't pollution ways. Clean water is everyone's natural right. Let's keep it that way.
Dive! Let's keep that chick underneath the water.
Make it a worthwhile summer. If you are 17 or older, you could qualify to attend an American Red Cross aquatic school and earn an instructor's rating in first aid, small craft, or water safety. How will you feel after 10 days of aquatic school?
Exhausted.
For more information, write Water Safety, American National Red Cross, Washington, D.C.
All right. So I saw people were doing the call out to Peter Thomas. What is your personal relationship with Peter Thomas? How does that affect your family's life?
Well, my mom is obsessed with it. She also falls asleep to him. So that's just like a very general thing, apparently.
Yeah.
I didn't know so many people did that.
Yeah, it's my, I call him America's narrator sleep machine.
Yeah.
So many people fall asleep to his voice. So this next film, I kind of bullied you into showing. It's called Acting with Maturity. And so when you were in school, like high school, stuff like that, did they ever show you anything that would say like, hey, this is how an adult acts, or this is how a teenager should act?
Definitely not.
Yeah, like, so there was no information of like, oh, well, this is how you're at mature. What about in college? No? It was either just kind of sink or swim?
Yeah, you just learn it yourself.
Yeah, so this is kind of interesting, like, you know, I always talk about, like, how these educational films sometimes talk about things that are no longer talked about, but kind of are important.
Yeah.
So, like, how do people your age, your generation, know how to act mature? How to adult?
I'd just say through experience.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I kind of wonder, like, when we see adults misbehaving, is it just because they never saw this film? Do they not know what maturity means? I don't know. You know, it's kind of a easy answer, but yeah, if they don't really get the training on how to be an adult, then they don't become adults.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, so this is Acting with Maturity. Enjoy.
Have you ever known a fellow like Phil, who waited too long to ask a girl to a dance at school? You've got to give him credit for trying. But today, he's a loser, and his friends aren't making it easier for him. Another try, with no better luck. You can't blame Phil for wishing he'd behaved differently. Thinking back, he realizes that his friends might have been able to help him with the problem. Or at least he could have walked out without pushing people around. But that's not what Phil did, and he knows it. Is he starting to question his actions? To wonder whether his behavior was immature? Meet Betty, moping because no one asked her to the dance Saturday night. She wants a shoulder to cry on. But her mother isn't offering her sympathy. She's having too much fun with an old friend. She thinks, Mother always acts so silly with Mrs. Harris. Shouldn't they act more like older women? No, that doesn't seem right either. Maturity means something more than how old you are. How should women their age act? Maybe there's no set rule. Maybe life is made up of different circumstances calling for different kinds of behavior. Perhaps relaxed. Perhaps respectful. Perhaps businesslike. Or perhaps friendly. All can be mature actions at the right time and place. They're old friends. What's wrong with their having fun? Maturity isn't just how a person acts. It's how he and others feel about those actions. Everyone feels emotional when something happy occurs. When something frightening happens. Or when something tragically funny takes place. But people behave differently. Some show the first feeling they have, and sometimes their reactions cause pain. But other people bring their first reactions under control quickly, try to help or to reason things out. It's no use saying, be mature, or act maturely. There's no rule for maturity in young people, or adults. It's something a person works out on his own, perhaps by thinking things over when upset or excited. And, in the end, the more mature the behavior, the more pleasant life can be for that person, and for others, too. George, Tom, and Hank have been friends for 3 years, long enough to learn each other's sensitive spots. For instance, though Tom wants to be an athlete, he's not too good at sports. Okay, it's true. But Hank is wrong to rub it in. It makes Tom mad. And he thinks he'd like to fight Hank. But he doesn't. The conversation changes, and the tension is easing up. And now that it's all over, Tom feels better, glad that he waited and held back instead of making trouble. Sally wants to go to her club meeting an hour early. That's when they're planning entertainment for the dance. But she's got about an hour of geometry homework to do. That's her choice, the homework or the meeting. She tries to work it out on her own. Maybe she can leave the meeting before it's over. Come home a little early. Or maybe her mother will let her stay up late after the meeting to do her homework. Maybe that'll be okay. Or maybe she can come to the meeting late, but still get in on planning the entertainment. Maybe that'll be all right with the girls. Maybe not. Is there a different solution? Maybe Margot Carlson will let her copy her homework. It's an easy way out, but she knows it's wrong. Sally doesn't want to ask about staying up late, and she's afraid to come to the meeting late. And the situation is more difficult because the choices are not equally mature ones. Here's Phil again. Remember he was looking for a date? Well, he's got one. With Betty. He doesn't especially like her, but she's okay. You guessed it. Someone he really does like has called back. She can make it to the dance after all. Will he go with Betty, who said yes first, or the other girl that he likes better? Whatever he does will take some mature thinking. In a way, that's what maturity is. Thinking before moving. Considering other people's feelings. Facing up to tough situations. That's what maturity is all about.
So it's all about other people's feelings. It's about making decisions on your own. All that stuff. Let me see if there's actually questions. This one didn't. Yeah, this one didn't come with program notes, but basically this is the description. Dating, family life, friendship, and school present young people with situations that may result in immature behavior. The reactions show how you feel is as important as how you act, and that decisions require thinking before acting. There you go.
Yeah, very important information.
So did you get any advice in school, like on how to date?
No. I'd say the internet is your best friend.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
oh,
you have
no.
to sift through a lot of bad information. But
Wow. So how do you determine if something's good information or bad information? We have this conversation all the time because we keep showing each other YouTube videos, and we both are like, I don't know.
I don't know. You just compare it to your morals, I guess.
Right. What about the host? Is the host or the person who's giving you the information, does that determine sometimes whether or not?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we watched that documentary, A Glitch in the Matrix, the other day, and there was some. They showed some YouTuber woman with like nails, and she was talking about like all these messed up conspiracies, and so she was talking about them, and she was like animated and blah blah blah. I'm like, is that a is that a
I know who you're talking about.
A person that we would consider a trustworthy news source?
She's not. I know who she is.
Oh yeah,
she's not.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that she mentioned it, and then we talked this morning about how you're watching some YouTuber who had some information.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this is something to think about because you're basically an adult.
Yeah.
But I have friends who have kids that are 8 and they're watching YouTubers and they're getting this information, and some of the information is wrong. Like I've had to correct this 8-year-old and say like, no, that's not really right, and he's like, no, but this YouTube channel, and I'm like, yeah, let me tell you about YouTube. So, anyways, I'm hoping that this information gets to these films we get out to the world, so that maybe this will pepper the world with some reliable information, even though it's dated. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous proposition, and one of the things that we do in dealing with danger is we have a song that we show, and so let's talk about the dangers of shaking hands with danger.
I can check that gear in a minute, so don't touch anything, okay? Get down from there! Now! Hey! Turn it over!
What if it bumped that control by accident? You'd be mincemeat by now. What have I told you? You don't work on equipment when the engine's running.
Well, I told him not to touch anything. All right, I guess I wasn't thinking.
You weren't thinking? You mean you'll work on engines and machinery and not think of your own personal safety? Here. Shake hands with danger.
Shake hands with danger. Meet a man you ought to know. I used to laugh at safety. Now they call me Three-Fingered Joe. I was young and feisty, never did things by the book. Just let me get my toolbox and I'll take myself a look. I climbed up on a dozier with my mechanic's pride. Said, you can keep it running, friend, while I poke around inside. Shake hands with danger, meet a guy you ought to know. I used to laugh at safety, now they call me Three-Fingered Joe. Although I learned a lesson, I forgot it soon enough. The nicks and burns and scratches showed the young ones I was tough. Till another morning I was grinding on some steel. My other hand got careless and fed my skin into the wheel. Shake hands with danger, step right up and say hello. Grinding wheels and metal are what made me Three-Fingered Joe. I've seen mechanics burning, and I've seen them take a fall just to save themselves a minute. I've seen them lose it all. I've watched them courting trouble, seen them take a chance and lose. They get careless for a moment and spend a lifetime with the blues. Shake hands with ones I used to know. Compared to them, I'm lucky to be just Three-Finger Joe.
So, yeah, that's the remix that Katrina made for me for my birthday. Yeah, it's a hit. So,
Very good.
thank you, Ross, for donating some coffee to the cause. Nate is drinking coffee now, so not only will you be buying coffee for us, but you'll be buying it for Nate, who's here for at least another week. You can do it at buymeacoffee.com/avgeeks. You can also support AV Geeks and by telling the world that you like them, by hitting like, subscribe, by ringing the notification bell, commenting, sharing, and going to avgeeks.com and seeing other things that we've done and DVDs that we have for sale. Hope everybody has a good weekend. Nate, thank you for your work. Maybe we'll have you again on next Friday if you're up for it. And I'll try not to put down your generation. It's not your fault. All right, everybody. Have a good weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Everybody take care.